I'm very grateful for these eggs right here.
Hello and welcome to Copperhead Road Homestead. If you'll let me today, what I'd like to do is show you some of the things that we eat. And the reason this is important is because we're told that there might be a situation where you might have to shelter in, where there might be a quarantine. And I want to share with you some of the things that we're doing, some of the things that we eat, and how we are preparing for that. We eat a lot of eggs here on the homestead. We have a lot of poultry. We have been producing a ton of eggs, probably a couple of dozen almost every day. So that's more than we can eat, even though we do eat a lot of eggs. So one of the things that we're doing when we shelter in is to eat eggs. And that's okay because eggs are very nutritionally dense food. So I'm going to be cooking a couple of eggs the way that I cook eggs and share with you. You can cook eggs so many different ways. While we do have the internet, if you're worried about disaster, if you're worried about it not coming around, this is probably a good opportunity for you to get used to cooking things. And they say whenever you are being sheltered in to prepare yourself by stocking up on some of the things that you eat a lot of. So I like a breakfast burrito, but I'm also going to be cooking some eggs for my wife, and I just cook her regular fried eggs. So I'm going to get the stove going, and I'm going to show you some of the things that we do. And I like to cook in my cast iron skillet, and I've already got a little bit of grease in there. We haven't slaughtered any pigs yet, but we're going to. When we do, we'll be producing our own, but I've been using just this lard. It's Manteca en Español. Been using lard. We used to live near a town called Manteca in California. There's a bit of free information for you. Anyway, I've got some lard. I've already got it in there. Got the pan warming up. I use cast iron and we use propane. So we are on the grid right now, electrically speaking. Ultimately, we would like to be off the electric grid and also not even using propane because we have to have it delivered. But right now, I'm cooking with propane. And I really like cooking with propane. I like cooking with cast iron. Cast iron lasts a long time. If it gets messed up, you can often fix it if it gets rusted or whatever. But I've got it warmed. And a lot of times what I like to do as well, especially for some of our farm eggs, sometimes they get left in the nest for a little while longer than they should be. So sometimes they're bad. There's a couple of ways to test those. You can put them in water. I haven't put these in water yet to test them. But a lot of times I like to crack them beforehand in another dish. So this is a ramekin. See the egg there? I won't do much further than that. So you can actually see it, and I won't pour it on the floor. But I do one at a time. I've got this on high. The grease is all warm now. See, it's all in there really well. And I put the first one in. I mean, it's a fried egg. Sheesh. Anyway, I put the first one in, and then I put the second one in. After I got it warm, I turned the heat down, and I've got an old coffee can here that I put the compost in. We save our eggshells. You can use those, send them back to the flock because after you clean them, because they need more calcium to produce more eggs. But oftentimes what we do is just feed them to our pigs that are close by. Hi, Maya. So I salt and pepper. This is pink salt, Himalayan. Woo! See it? Yeah, and that's delicious. Now I'm just gonna flip them over gently. She likes them over easy. I said over easy! I said over easy! I said over easy! Here you go, my love.
I'm very grateful for these eggs right here.
All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing for these. I wanna break the eggs in this ramekin first. Make sure they're good. And I like at least 2 or 3 eggs in my breakfast burrito. All these eggs are good. And whenever I scramble eggs, so I'm scrambling eggs now. I got the sausage cooking. I forgot to turn the heat back on. I'm scrambling these eggs. When I scramble eggs, I like to put heavy whipping cream in there. We have goat milk on our farm, and I could use the goat milk. And we have cows that are dual purpose cows. We don't milk them yet. I don't know if we ever will. We may or may not. But One of the reasons we have them is as a prepper thing. Ultimately, we will be able to, if we train them to and want to do that, and we know how to milk because we have a process for milking our goats. It kind of ties you down whenever you milk. So you've got to be here every single day, and you've got to do these things. So right now, this is what we do. But we have a plan to do other things. This is just where we are right now. It's a process. Sausage are cooking. Right now we buy our sausage as well, but probably within the next few months, soon, we're gonna butcher a pig. We've got too many of them. We'll probably butcher 2 or 3. So that is homegrown. And we're doing that so we have the experience, so we know how to do it whenever we want to in the future. And also because we do want to provide a lot of our own food. We just, again, we're trying to figure this out a little bit at a time, but we're trying to eat whole foods in the process for the most part. And whip it up. See it getting all nice and yellow, eggy. And no, this is not going to be a cooking channel. By the way, if you haven't already subscribed, I would really appreciate it if you would. Hit that thumbs up button if you like this. I'm showing you this, I'm doing this because these are some of the same things we're going to eat. I like American cheese. See that nice brown on there? Ooh yeah. If we're in a shelter-in situation, quarantine, then I'll just do without. I'll just have an omelet instead of this. But this is extreme wellness, high fiber, carb lean. Extreme wellness. Do you see that? Made with flaxseed. And the reason I like this is because it's low carb as well. It's only got about 5 grams of sugar in it. 4 grams of net carbs per tortilla. And if I have one of these today, then I can still. The beginning of last year, January or so of last year, I weighed about 235 pounds. Was that it? I think I weighed 235 pounds, and I had gotten up before that to 250. And I got down to, within, by the end of the year, I got down to, below 185. Or was I, what was I, 175? I think I got to 175. I got to 175 by around, I don't know, August, September, something like that. And I did that with low carb, high fat. I'm not trying to tell you how to eat, but that's what I do. We try to limit our sugars. Cut that out there. Take a look at this. See it? Looking good, huh? But right now we do use the microwave. Again, we are a work in progress. We're trying to do these things slowly. That we have a dream of ultimately being off-grid. We're not there yet, and growing a lot of our own food. Right now we produce our own eggs, and we're gonna have our own sausage. I said we're trying. This is about done. Okay, and put a little bit more pepper on it, and take a look at what I got. So this is actually one of my favorite things to eat. I cook this just about every single day. I also like to eat a lot of nuts. Sometimes I eat a smoothie. I can share that with you if you're interested in what I do. I have put some comfrey in there. I only put a little bit in there. If you want to see something like that, then let me know. Also like and subscribe if you like things like this. If you don't, then you can let me know that as well. But one of the only reasons I'm sharing this with you, is because I want to let you know the things that we will eat and we do eat now. We eat a lot of eggs on this homestead. We produce our own sausage, or will produce our own sausage. We have the pork. We can do it right now if we needed to, in a case of a quarantine or a shelter-in situation. But you need to think about what you're going to eat on your homestead in case of that situation. And it's something that brings a lot of gratification, producing some of your own food as well. Again, we appreciate you being here. If you like this sort of thing, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, comment below. Let me know the things that you have planned to eat in a quarantine situation as well. Thanks.